Good day everyone. We are the group 2 and our topic for today is the startup setting your franchise wheels in motion. So for the overview of this topic, first is evaluating and choosing a locations for your franchise. Second is buying, receiving, and storing goods and supplies. And lastly is getting good training before and after you open your franchise. So, surveying your options for local. So, when it comes to franchising, one of the most important things na kinukonsider talaga natin is location. So, kahit gaano kaganda yung brand or yung product ng isang business, if the location is not good, mahihirapan ka pa rin maka-attract ng customer. So, we have different types of locations na pwede natin pagpilian if ever na magpa-franchise tayo. So, first is yung mall. Mall is marami siyang advantages, pero isa sa pinaka-advantages niya is maraming customers ang pumupunta sa mall halos everyday. Tapos, very safe din siya. Ang disadvantage lang talaga nito is mataas yung rent and may mga rules na kailangan kang sundin. Like, for example, sa mga operating hours nila. So, next naman is neighborhood centers. So, ang neighborhood centers naman is malapit siya sa mga houses. Easy siya for locals to visit. Ang disadvantage lang talaga nito is mas konti yung mga customers na pumupunta and then maliit yung space niya. Example nito is sari-sari store or mini convenience store. Next is community centers. So, ang community centers naman is maraming tao or maraming customers ang pumupunta dito kapag may mga event. So, a disadvantage lang nito is crowd is not consistent. Ibig sabihin, nakadepende sa event yung dami ng customer na pumupunta. So, next naman is lifestyle centers. Ang lifestyle centers naman is modern look siya. Maganda siya for branding and then attractive din siya sa mga customers. Ang disadvantage lang talaga nito is mataas yung rent niya and maraming competition. For example, mga cafe or mga boutique store. So, next naman is power centers. Ang power centers naman is maraming mga customers yung pumupunta. Ang disadvantage lang naman dito is madaming competitors and then kailangan mo talagang mag-extra effort para ma-stand out yung business mo. So, next is other centers. Ang kagandahan nito is pwede kang or meron kang sariling specific target market. Like, for example, mga office, mga tourist or office workers. Ang disadvantage lang talaga nito is seasonal or limited lang yung customer. So, next is shopping areas. Ang shopping areas naman is visible siya sa mga naglalakad or madali siyang maka-attract ng walk-in buyers. So, next is off-street site. So, off-street site naman is mababa yung rent nito, flexible yung space niya. Yung disadvantage lang talaga nito is hindi siya agad nakikita. Kaya, need mo talaga ng promotions or need mo talagang i-promote yung business mo. And then, lastly is at-home site. So, ang at-home site is, kagandahan nito is mababa yung cost, no? Very low yung cost niya. Convenient siya and then maganda siya for small startup pa lang na business. Ang disadvantage lang talaga nito is limited yung market mo. So, our next topic is working from home. So, working at home reduce a franchise cost of doing business and it's convenient. For many franchisees, working at home is perfect. So, ang kagandahan ng working at home is wala kang babayaran na rent or utilities ng commercial space. And then, convenient din kasi flexible yung hours niya. So, for many franchisees, working at home, sabi nga nila, working at home is perfect. Kasi nga, lalo na pag startup pa lang yung business mo or bago ka pa lang nagsisimula sa business. Ang disadvantage lang nito is limited lang yung space niya And then, yun, kailangan mo rin mag-extra effort sa marketing para makita ng ibang customers yung sarili mong business. Next is opting for alternate or off-street sites. So, many franchisors are able to expand their system by opening locations in off-street venues or captive audience venues. So, ang advantage nito is yun, mas maraming chance na makita ng tao or makita ng customers yung business mo, and kagandahan din dito is pwede mo matarget yung specific crowd mo. Ang disadvantage niya is minsan less visible kung hindi ka sa main area nalagay. And then, yun, kailangan din ng mas maganda yung marketing mo para maka-attract ka lalo ng mga customers. So, our last topic is landing near another franchise or tinatawag nating dual branding. So, when we say dual branding, ito na yung 2 or more franchise share the same location. So, ang advantage nito is customers get a one-stop shopping experience, no? Mas maraming tao yung naa-attract kasi mas marami silang napapagpipilian na mga stores na pwede nilang puntahan. Ang disadvantage naman nito is mataas yung competition sa loob ng same area na yon. And then, kailangan mag-coordinate ang businesses para walang conflict na mangyayari.
So under the topic of setting up shop, finding your franchise's habitat, when we say setting up shop, it means you open your business while the habitat is the environment or the location where your business or your franchise operates. So it means that choosing the right location for your franchise or business to grow and succeed. So under this topic, it said that prime locations are hard to get because competition is strong. Good management matters more than just having a good location. Location choice is a major part of franchise research and business plan, and costs differ based on setup, like home office, shopping center, or freestanding site. So under this, of course, lenders or investors wants to learn more or wants to learn the details about site details, nearby competition, and advantages of the location. So when we say site details, here we can see the size, the rent, the parking, the accessibility, or the visibility traffic. While sa nearby competition naman is ito na yung mga businesses which offers the similar products or services nearby. And the advantage of the location, dito natin makikita yung mga customer traffic, visibility, or yung closeness to target market, or can be the budget fit. So additionally, it is stated here that there are ways to find a site. So first, we can spot for lease signs. We can work with real estate brokers. We can attend shopping center exhibitions like the International Council of Shopping Centers based from the ebook. So the idea here is that in order to have a best success formula, we need a good location plus the strong management. So under this is finding out what constitutes a good site. So when we say finding out constitutes a good site, it means that we should learn what makes a location good for the business. So first, we should have a clear criteria or standards for the type of our business. So some of us think that a place with many people like the malls or the highways is perfect, but there are things like acquisitions, mergers, and market pull-outs which can remove the main attraction that brings the customers. So therefore, this can affect the business because, of course, fewer people will visit. So example here is if the supermarket near to your store shuts down, it means that you can also lose the flow of the customers. It is also stated that there is no single definition of a good site because each business needs a different kind of location. Therefore, there are still some general rules that we can apply. For retail franchise or those business or franchises with walk-in customers, this site should be very visible to customers. Location along daily commutes, near entertainment places, or inside office complexes allow people to see the business often, recognize the brand, and easily stop by to buy. Example here is when a coffee shop beside an office building gets daily customers on their way to work. Then for service, choosing a fancy, high-traffic retail space for these services can potentially waste money and could even cause the business to fail. While those service providers or those businesses that has a non-walk-in customers, such as carpet cleaners, janitors, repair services, lawn care, pest control, movers, tool delivery, and home inspection, usually don't rely on walk-in customers, but instead, they need things like good trucks, easy delivery access, postal and highway access, warehouses, and reliable phones, since they go to the customers, not the other way around. So the main point here is that a good site depends on the type of business. So of course, for the retail businesses, they need visible, high-traffic locations to attract customers, while the service-based businesses benefit more from practical, accessible locations that support operations rather than foot traffic. So now for the topic of using the franchisor as your compass, it means that letting the franchisor guide you in choosing a business site. So since the franchisor have the experience, the market knowledge, and tested standards, they can help the franchisees to identify the good locations. This can work because they know where their franchise succeeds and what site features matter most. So its importance is that by following their guidance, you reduce the risk and increase the chances of success. Example here is that when a fast food franchisor can tell you the best spots are near schools or busy roads so your branch can get steady customers. So the step one here is that you should always start by discussing viable site options with your franchisor. So some franchisors allow flexibility like home-based, office-based, or retail, while others strictly follow the one model. So additionally, the franchisors give a big advantage in location decisions because they have the experience. Their staff can tell what kinds of sites usually succeeds or fail. The importance of this is that the first step in the site selection should be discussing options with them since they may allow different locations or require only one type. Example here is that the franchisor can insist a fast food outlet must be on a busy street and not on a hidden spot. So of course, even though the franchisor provides a valuable guidance, you cannot depend on them blindly. So we should think of it, and we should also add the check and balance system wherein the franchisor gives you the criteria and data from their experience, and you as a franchisee will independently confirm and analyze the information through your own market research. This protects you from potential risks if the franchisor's information is outdated, generalized, or not suitable for your specific market. And this can work by comparing the franchisor's claims with independent sources like the local data, foot traffic, competitors to confirm or correct them. And the importance is this can reduce the risk and avoiding decisions based only on the franchisor's view. So the example here is that when a franchisor says a mall has a daily traffic, you as a franchisee will verify with mall records and quick counts. Then if lower, you can rethink the site. So in addition, franchisors usually provide site criteria, or it is the list of required specifications documents. So, these are the detailed requirements your site must meet to be approved. So, for example, for a retail or restaurant franchise, they can require a minimum number of parking spaces, a specific seating capacity, or a certain amount of kitchen equipment. While in office-based franchise, they can have more relaxed requirements. They can only focus only on general quality standards rather than the design uniformity. We should keep in mind that for retail and restaurant brands, they have the strict compliance with brand design and layout is mandatory to maintain the consistency across all locations. So this can work by keeping the consistency and the quality in the franchise system, and its importance is it can maintain the brand image and the customer expectations. Example here is that when the all branches of a fast food chain is look alike, but an office-based tutoring franchise may just need clean and a functional space. So franchisors usually won't pick the site for you, but they can guide in the process. So they can teach you their site criteria, they can give you the forms, and expect you to search for a location and do a research. So after you prepare a site package or the collected details, you present it to them and they then review your data, they can visit the site, or they can finally approve or reject it. Of course, a good franchisor can provide you with insights into demographics. Example here is the age, the income, the lifestyle, and the travel distance of the customers. And also the information on how far customers are willing to travel for your product or service, and also the details on pricing expectations in your target market. Your franchise agreement will explain how site approval works. In most cases, you identify a potential location and submit a site package like research, demographics, traffic counts, competition analysis, etc. The franchisor reviews your proposal, possibly visits the site, and then decides whether to approve or to reject it. And the standard franchise agreements give the franchisors the right to approve or deny, but not guarantee the success. So even if the franchisor found the location, you as a franchisee is the ultimate responsible, of course, for the decision. Their approval only means that the site is acceptable, not that it will guarantee a profitability. Even if they suggested the location, you are not forced to accept it. And their approval simply means that the site meets their standards. So this can work by making sure that the franchisor protects the brand consistency while leaving the final choice to you as a franchisee. So the importance is that the responsibility for the site's success is ultimately yours. Example here is that even if you like the location, the franchisor can reject if it doesn't match to their image or to their rules. So when it comes to actually finding a site, franchisors can vary. Some give the full help, some give only guidance, and some leave you to do it alone. The more support they provide, the higher the chances of the franchise success. So usually the franchisor approves a general area and expect you to search for a site within it, unless they already have one in mind. After you choose, they approve or reject it, and some franchisors, especially new ones, may even join you in site hunting. They can ride along, checking demographics, and meeting with the landlords. Others may already have a ready site, fully built and equipped for you to buy or to lease. So the main point in this topic is that using a franchisor as your guide helps you choose a site that meets the franchise standards and targets the right customers, reducing risks and increasing your chances of success, but the final responsibility for the site success remains with you.
So using specific data to evaluate a site on your own. So first is use drive time polygons, not just radius miles. So when evaluating a franchise site, it is important to think about how your customers will actually get to your business. So many studies use radius miles such as a 3-mile or 5-mile circle to estimate the potential customer base. However, this method can be misleading because it does not consider real travel conditions. So, of course, we know that people do not travel in straight lines. They drive along streets, stop at traffic lights, or take highways. That is why drive time polygons are more accurate. So, a drive time polygon shows the exact area that people can reach from your location within a specific time frame, such as a 3, 5, or 10 minutes of driving. And this approach is important because it reflects actual customer behavior. So next is the success of your business depends on four key factors. First is the demographics and employment, the activity generators, the physical traffic, and the competition. So in demographics and employment, who your customers are. So demographics and employment are the foundation of market analysis. Demographics refer to the characteristics of the people in your potential trading area, such as age, gender, family size, and household income. So, for example, if your franchise specializes in milk tea, your primary customers will often be young students and young university, college, or district would be more suitable than one in a retirement community. On the other hand, if your business is a steakhouse, you will need a higher income population who can afford to eat at your restaurant regularly. So, placing such a business in an area with low household income may lead to poor sales regardless of how attractive the restaurant looks. So next factor is the activity generators or what attracts people to the area. So activity generators are the places or institutions that bring people to a certain area on a regular basis. So this can include schools, universities, malls, office buildings, hospitals, tourist attractions, government offices, or transportation hubs such as bus and train stations. So they are important because even if people do not live in the immediate area, activity generators create a natural flow of traffic and increase the chance that customers will visit your business. So for example, a 7-Eleven near a busy bus terminal. So it will naturally gain customers because commuters passing by every day will stop for snacks or essentials. Similarly, a restaurant near a hospital benefits from the steady flow of doctors, nurses, patients, and visitors. So these activity generators acts like magnets. They pull people into the area and provide a built-in customer base for surrounding businesses. So when evaluating a site, it is critical to look for these magnets and consider how they will contribute to your daily sales. So next is the physical and traffic. So the accessibility and visibility. So the physical aspects for a site and its traffic patterns are equally important. Even if the demographics and activity generators look perfect, your site may still fail if customers cannot see it or easily reach it. Physical considerations include visibility from the road, the convenience of entrance and exit points, the safety and size of parking areas, and the quality of sidewalks for pedestrians. So, traffic data such as the number of cars or people passing by per day also plays a huge role. So, accessibility is vital because customers are less likely to stop if reaching your store requires difficult turns, dangerous U-turns, or long waits in traffic. And visibility is also a key. So if your store is hidden behind buildings, customers may not even know it exists. And parking is another factor that can make or break customers' decision. So that many people will simply drive past if parking is limited, unsafe, or too far from the entrance. And lastly is the competitions or the other businesses nearby. So competition is the fourth critical factor. This refers to the number and quality of other businesses offering the same or similar products in your area. So having competitors nearby is not always bad. In fact, it can indicate that there is demand for your product. However, too many competitors in the same area can divide the market and reduce your potential sales. And studying competition involves not only counting how many similar businesses are nearby, but also analyzing their strengths and weaknesses. It answers the question, are they thriving or struggling? What are their prices? What is their customer services like? So the answers to these questions help you decide whether your franchise can stand out or if the market is too crowded. So the next one is the watch out for red flags or the warning signs. So when investigating a site, it is important to be cautious and look for signs that something may be wrong. A major red flag is frequent tenant turnover, which means that many businesses have already failed in that location. Another red flag is a long vacancy where the property remains empty for months or even years. So both of these situations suggest that the site may have hidden problems such as poor visibility, safety issues, or lack of customer traffic. Of course, the surrounding environment also matters. Negative factors such as foul odors from nearby factories or markets, loud noises from nightclubs or construction sites, or the presence of unsafe neighbors such as criminal halfway houses, which can discourage customer from visiting. So even if your business itself is appealing, people may avoid the area because of this outside influence. And last advice is the don't rush. So investigate carefully before signing a lease. So the most important lesson in site selection is of course patience. So you must investigate carefully. Visit the site at different times of the day, morning, lunch, evening, and weekends to see how customer traffic changes. Talk to neighboring businesses owners to understand the flow of customers and any challenges they face. Of course, check the crime rates, traffic counts, and parking availability. Use demographic and drive time data to confirm whether the customer base is strong enough. And most importantly, consult your franchisor, as they usually have experience and resources to guide you in making the right decision. So the next topic is avoiding encroachment. So what is encroachment? So encroachment in franchising happens when a franchisor or another franchisee begins to compete with your protected territory, the area where you are supposed to have exclusive rights to operate. So imagine if you own a Jollibee franchise in your city and the franchisor allows another Jollibee branch to open just a few blocks away. So customers who would normally come to your store might now go to the new branch instead. This is encroachment because the new store is competing directly inside your territory. So next is the protected territory. So a protected territory is the area where a franchisee has exclusive rights to operate, usually defined by a set radius or map boundaries. If granted, the franchisor cannot open or allow another branch within that area. However, not all agreements provide this protection. Some only covers the store itself, leaving franchisees vulnerable to competition from the same branch nearby. Understanding if a franchise includes protected territory is essential to avoid encroachment. And the next is the contract clarity. So contract clarity is in franchising is crucial because only what is written in the agreement is legally enforceable. Verbal promises from salespeople mean nothing if they are not included in the contract. While agreements define certain rights, they may leave out protections like exclusivity, online sales, or territorial boundaries. So, to avoid encroachment and misunderstandings, franchisees must carefully review and ensure all desired protections are clearly stated in the contract. So, next is policies vary. So, franchisors' policies on encroachment differ widely. Some review in the potential impact of new locations and may block them or offer support if they harm existing franchisees. Others strictly follow the contract and open new units regardless of the effect. Since policies vary, it is important for potential franchisees to research the franchisor's approach and talk to current franchisees before committing. The next is the best practice. So the best way to guard against encroachment is preparation before signing a franchise agreement. So franchisees should carefully read the contract, speak with current franchisees about their experiences, and consult a franchisee attorney to spot gaps and negotiate stronger protections like defined territories or limits on online sales. So taking these steps reduces risks and safeguards the investment since once the agreement is signed, its terms are binding.
Moving forward to the next topic, which is securing your space after finding your peace in heaven. Understanding and signing a lease. When you're about to sign a lease, you've already decided on a location. You should be in the process of contacting the real estate or management company that manages the property to determine space availability and specific occupancy cost and lease terms, and to complete your site review package for your franchisor. So when you start a franchise, one of the first things you decide is where your business will be. You usually have two options: either rent a space or build your own location. If you rent, or what we call leasing, you need to check if the space is just the right size, not too small that customers feels uncomfy, and not too big that you're paying rent for unused space. If you rent, you need to make sure the size is just right and the rental cost fits your budget. Just like for example, a new milk tea shop rents a 100 square meter space in a mall, thinking the big area will attract more customers, but in reality, only half the space is being used for tables and kitchen. The rest of the space is empty, yet they still have to pay the full rent and utilities every month. Next is building a location. Building your own location can be tedious and demanding, but if you select the site based on your franchisor's criteria, plan the job, select your contractor carefully, and monitor the job closely, you'll have the exact location that you need. If you build, it can be more challenging. Also, it takes more effort because you need permits, variances, and certificates before you can use the building. For instance, McDonald's branch built along the highway needs permits for the drive-through lanes and enough parking space before opening. Next is understanding the layout. So every retail and restaurant franchisor has a floor plan that is excruciating in its exactness. Even if you think that the counter should be 2 inches longer on the left side, you have to follow the franchisor's plans or get the franchisor's permission for a change. So franchisors also give exact floor plans that you must follow so all branches look the same, like how every Jollibee feels familiar no matter where you go. Their blue and red theme. So even small changes like moving a counter
or changing the height of a sign need approval. Next is selecting the contractor. Selecting a reputable commercial contractor who has experience with meeting deadlines and the quality requirements of a franchisor isn't difficult. So lastly, you need a reliable contractor. Why? A good contractor ensures that construction is done properly and on time, because if the work is delayed, your opening will also be delayed, which means loss of income. So, in summary, setting up a franchise location involves choosing between leasing or building, following franchisor standards, and making sure all permits and construction are handled properly. In this way, your franchise runs smoothly from very start.
So, hi everyone. I am Jameer Askenio. So, I'm here to discuss getting the goods, merchandise, and supplies. So, every franchise needs merchandise and supplies para maka-operate ng maayos yung business. So, we need consistent and quality to maintain the trust of the customers. So, why it is important? Because to ensure smooth operation and keeps the brand image. So, for example, like Jollibee, each branch around the world has the same taste of Chicken Joy. So, next, knowing who to buy from. So, some franchisors control supplier choices to protect the brand and ensure our branches use the same quality. So, si franchisor, gina-guide niya si franchises where to buy o to protect the brand. So, it is very important to know why we will buy, and also si franchisor usually gaset ng rules to protect safe and standard of the product or quality. So, why it is important to prevent fake and substandard product from harming the brand. So, for example, cleaning service franchise required to use approved cleaning chemicals. So next, buying goods direct from the franchisors. So, franchisors supply unique or secret items themselves, preventing competitors from copying the product. So, kapag kasi mga special or secret recipe, si franchisors talaga usually buy ng goods, then gina-distribute na lang niya sa mga franchises niya. So, yun nga, sinabi dito is para uh, yung mga competitors is yung mga competitors niya is makaiwas na gumaya sa ah, kanyang recipes. So, kaya ah, kaya 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 si franchisors is hands-on dito pagdating sa mga secret recipes. So, why it is important? Yun nga, to protect secrets and ensure consistency across branches. So, for example, Pizza Hut has a secret sauce is supplied by the franchisors. So next, the benefits from the buy. So franchises save money and protect brand image when purchasing are made together in bulk. So yun nga, gina centralize buying, lower cost and maintain uniform quality. So, alam naman din natin kapag magbili tayo ng bulk orders, kay mas makamura man tayo, but at the same time is yung quality ng goods, it's standard din siya. So, why it is important to save money and ensures quality, and it has a strong it it has strength the brand. So, for example, yung Starbucks use the same beans globally across the world yung mga kung sana man na branches is same pa din yung yung lasa ng kape nila kasi nga yun nga iisa lang din yung yung kape nila talaga na ginagamit. So, next, approved and required suppliers. So, approved suppliers ensures that all products meet franchise quality and safety standards. So, si franchisor often approve suppliers to control quality. This ensures quality and avoids fake or substandard products. So, why it is important? To protect customers and keep franchise operation reliable. So, for example, as spa, may spa na franchise siya. Then, uh, ginayos lang nila yung parang oils or towels na gi-approve only ni franchisor. So, yun nga, yung sinabi nito na approve or require supplies kasi kailangan natin na i-ensure yung product na ginagamit natin is approved ni franchisor. So, buying products authorized by the franchisor. So, some franchisor let franchises choose local vendors but only if the item meet brand specification. So, si franchises can source from local supplier if approved. Ah, ano lang ba, pinapayagan ni franchisor na maghanap si franchises ma- ah, na local vendors lang ba, halimbawa sa kape, kape. And then yung beans is 'di ba may specific brand man 'yan or something na made in ganito ganyan. So maghanap tayo ng parang same taste din but parang ano 'yan, parang mas makamura tayo ba, but same din yung lasa. So, yun nga, ginapayagan din ni franchisor pero if yung standard is mamimit ng product kasi nga we need to to check if the product is fake or not to substandard ganyan. So, kasi nga 'di ba kay tayo halimbawa ganito nag-buy tayo ng Chicken Joy sa first branch ng Jollibee then pag sa iba ka naman hindi parang iba lagi ang lasa ganyan 'di ba? That's why na parang gina-prevent ni franchisor na mag-wonder yung customers na iba mag-iba lasa ganyan ganyan. So yun nga, so at least doon pa lang is parang consistent na natin yung quality. So why it is important? So to allow flexibility while still ensuring standard quality, yun nga gaya na sinabi ko kanina. And magbigay pa ako ng specific example. So for example, alam niyo yung Subway, yung brand na parang Subway, 'di ba? It's a brand of Korean something na sandwich siya. Then basta yun, gina-allow ni Subway na yung mga local bread suppliers good if they meet the quality standard of the bread, yung mga ganun something. So next, so ay parang nagsobra na ako. So next, supplying goods the Wendy's way. So Wendy's purchasing system keep products safe and consistent through regular supplier audits and quality checks. So, sa Wendy's kasi, grabe yung insurance nila sa mga suppliers nila. Audits to maintain the brand quality. So, bakit siya importante? So, to build customer trust and maintain international standards. And next, uh, so, for example na lang, yung burgers nila taste the same across Wendy branches. Same pa din ang kahit saan ka magkain or magbili ng burger nila sa branch nila is same pa din ang lasa. So next, buying goods through cooperatives. So cooperatives give franchise the power of both uh, buying rebates and priority access to suppliers. So ito naman is yung mga franchises is nag-team up sila ba to buy in bulk orders for discount lang. But ang important dito is to ensure costs and help franchises earn more profit. So for example, you are a coffee owner buying packaging together para, alam na natin, basta mag-delay tayo ng mas madami, mas makakamura tayo, di ba? So next, finding your own suppliers. In smaller system, franchise may need to find local suppliers but still must meet franchisor quality requirements. So common in a new or small franchises must still follow franchisor standards. So some some franchise find their own suppliers with franchisors approval. So it is very important because it gives franchise freedom to choose but still maintain the standards. So for example, a gym franchise owner sourcing local gym equipments instead sa mga branded good na brand or something na kilala na brand, but still naghanap sila ng local suppliers but same quality pa din. So overall nito is maraming paraan para makakuha ka ng direct suppliers or approved suppliers and or cooperatives. So or sariling supplier, basta alam mo natin if you are a business minded or you have already a business, 'di ba? Marami talaga tayong parang ah parang sinasabi na canvas good na ay dito tayo bibili ganito ganito ganyan. So marami siyang paraan. Pero ang pinaka-importante nito is ay dapat makahanap tayo ng low cost good at the same time high quality. Kasi sa mindset ng iba or sa atin or mismo sa akin is mas gusto ko makahanap ng own supplier ko na mas makamura gyud yung parang low cost siya but at the same time yung quality niya is makapasok din sa standard na gusto ko kasi para mas marami akong kita. So that's all, sana may maintindihan kayo.
Okay, so next, I'll be discussing the process of receiving merchandise and deliveries. For receiving merchandise, first, properly check, log, and store all merchandise received. We should always make sure that everything we received is correct, complete, and in good condition. Always double check the items when they arrive, log them into inventory system, and store them properly. Kung may kulang sa mga dineliver, dapat i-note yun before signing the delivery. Next
negotiate prices but always check quality and shortages. So, pwede tayong makipag-negotiate for cheaper prices sa mga suppliers, pero i-make sure natin na di ma-compromise yung quality and walang damage or missing. Next, establish a regular receiving routine. So, dapat may fixed schedule tayo sa pag-receive ng delivery. For example, every Monday morning ang receiving schedule mo. So, expected na every Monday morning, yung store manager is ready na to check the shipment and count the items na i-deliver. So, having regular receiving routine helps monitor vendors and reduces the risk of shortages and losses. Next, follow franchisors' inventory guidelines and procedures. So, usually, franchisor provides a recommendations and procedures for maintaining your inventory. For example, sa mga fast food franchise, pwede i-require ni franchisor na i-store agad yung meat sa freezer at a specific temperature. So, as a franchisee, dapat sundin natin yun kasi standardized na siya and tested. So, after making sure we have a routine for receiving merchandise, let's now proceed to the actual process of handling deliveries. First, schedule deliveries in advance. So, suppliers should book deliveries ahead of time and we should only accept them during off-peak hours. So, what is off-peak hours? Off-peak hours is yan na yung time na wala masyadong customers. So, during this time, ma-check natin yung mga items without distractions or without disturbing customers. Next, require vendors to park in and out of the way spot. Yung out of the way spot is the front of the store. Yung front of the store ay para lang sa mga customers. So, vendors are required to park either at the back or at the side of the store. This keeps the business looking professional and convenient for shoppers. Next, have the delivery driver bring all products into the building before you check the items. So, drivers should unload everything inside first before we start checking. This way, we won't miss items or risk them being left outside. Make sure that the merchandise you receive is for your business. So, always double check kung yung delivery ay para ba talaga sa store mo, especially if multiple franchises are nearby. Next, check all items, boxes, and cartons carefully. So, we should never rely on the driver's word alone. Open the boxes, count the items, and make sure na walang nawawala or na ilalabas na hindi mo napapansin. Next, do vendor check-in away from displays or inventory. So, we should check items in a separate space para di magkalituhan saan yung new stock and kung saan yung nasa shelves na. Next, don't allow a vendor to both stock shelves and remove boxes. We should do it by yourself or assign a staff para walang mawala. Next, watch helpers. So, sometimes helpers distract staff while mistakes or shortcuts happen. Always keep an eye out. Next, immediately put away all perishable products. So, fresh and frozen products should be stored right away in refrigerators or freezers to maintain their quality. Next, once the items are inside the store, the next step is to carefully check the goods themselves. So, first, inspect boxes for damage or tampering. So, we should always check packaging for dents, leaks, or any signs of tampering. For example, kapag may dent sa can or basa yung box, baka unsafe na siya for consumption. Next, open suspicious or resealed cartons before signing. So, if a box looks resealed or damaged, open it before signing the delivery. That way, di tayo magiging responsible for any hidden issues. Next, record any damages on the receiving log. So, we don't just verbally tell the driver kung may missing ba or damages. Dapat i-note siya sa receiving record. Because written proof is very important in case there are disputes later on. Next, always check the date code on the product when it is delivered. So, we should always look at the expiration date. Even if the product looks fine, it's useless if it expires before you can sell it. So, after we've checked the condition and expiration dates of the products, the final step is verifying the invoices. So, ito yung part na medyo technical kasi dito nakikita kung tama ba talaga ang binayaran at natatanggap ng store. So, first, match items, quantities, and cartons with delivery and order. So, before signing, kailangan i-check muna natin if the products match the order and the delivery receipt. Hindi lang basta yung number of items, pati rin yung exact na product. For example, if you ordered 10 boxes of Coca-Cola but only got 8 boxes, tapos halo-halo pa, may Sprite, Royal, dapat manote yun agad. Kasi if you sign without checking, parang kinonfirm mo na rin na complete and correct yung natanggap mo kahit hindi naman. Next, never sign for more than what you receive. So, dapat lagi natin bilangin yung boxes na natatanggap natin. Kung nakalagay sa record na 12 boxes lang, dapat 12 boxes lang yung natanggap mo. Next, note discrepancies on the freight bill or receiving record. Again, we don't just verbally tell the driver kung may kulang or sira. Dapat i-note sa receiving record or freight bill yung shortages or damages. Example, kung may 2 karton na basag yung bottles, ilagay mo sa record para may proof ka later on. Next, keep the delivery receipt. Don't return it to the vendor. Yung delivery receipt dapat na sa'yo lang. Never mo yun ibalik sa vendor kasi minsan ginagamit nila yun to manipulate records or cover up errors. Worst case, pwede pa silang magnakaw ng stock. Kaya the rule is, kunin mo yung receipt as soon as they walk in and keep it until natapos na lahat ng checking. Next, verify substitutions with franchisor approval. Substitutions not approved by your franchisor are subject to return for full credit. So, may mga times minsan na nagdadala ang vendor ng ibang brand or ibang size ng product. Kapag ganun, wag agad tanggapin. Instead, tawagan mo na si franchisor to verify kung allowed yung substitution. Example, if you order Coke products pero ang dinala is Pepsi, hindi mo yun pwede basta-basta tanggapin without approval kasi baka masira yung standard ng franchise and dapat uniform ang products across all branches. Next, mark missing items as short and have driver sign. So, kung may items na wala talaga sa delivery, ipamark mo agad na short sa receipt, meaning hindi siya kasama sa shipment. And dapat pirmahan ng driver yung note na yun before ka pumirma para clear sa records na hindi mo natanggap and hindi ito magiging loss ng store mo.
Good day everyone! For the next topic, which is the maintaining inventory. So this means keeping track of the product or supplies for the business. So nakadepende yung inventory mo sa business na pagmamayari mo. So, for example, like restaurants, need nila nabantayan yung mga products na meron sila and make sure na di sila mauubusan ng stocks. Let's proceed sa back of the house. So this is also known as a stock room. So it is back area of the business. So dito nakalagay yung mga products na and supplies na di pa ginagamit or di pa naka-display sa store. So and also dito nilalagay yung mga items na need a freezer. So dito usually yung mga freezer or mga ref. Pero usually yung mga franchisor nagbibigay ng planogram and clear rules on how to organize and store things on the stock room just like they do in the front. So the planogram is a guide that shows how and where products should be placed in the store. Let's proceed sa dry storage practices. So first, store products at least 6 inches off the floor on clean, non-porous surfaces to permit the cleaning of floor areas and to protect from contamination and rodents. So, non-porous, like for example, yung mga hindi ga-absorb ng tubig, like bakal, tiles, or plastic. So, need ito siya para hindi siya madapuan ng dumi or hindi siya malagyan ng rodents like daga or mga ipis. Second, don't store products under exposed sewer or water lines or next to sweating walls. So, kasi kapag nabasa yung item or yung product, pwede siya masira or hindi na siya magagamit. Third is store all poisonous materials including pesticides, soap, and detergents away from food supplies and designated storage areas. So dito, hindi pwede ipagsama yung pagkain tsaka yung product na may chemical like sabon kasi baka mag-cause siya ng lason sa food. Fourth is store all open packages in closed and labeled containers. So dito, hindi pwedeng maiwan na nakabukas yung mga packages kasi pwedeng pasukin ng mga ipis. Yeah. So fifth, keep shelving and floors clean and dry all the times. So dito, make sure na dapat malinis palagi yung floor and hindi siya basa like tuyo. And baka kasi mag-cause siya ng bacteria kapag madulas or basa yung floor. So, 6, schedule cleaning of storage areas at regular intervals. So, make sure na dapat regular yung paglilinis ng storage area. So, 7th is date all merchandise upon receipt and rotate inventory on a first in, first out basis. So, dito, kapag may bagong stocks, dapat lagyan siya ng date para kapag gagamitin na or ibebenta, make sure na dapat nasa unahan yung lumang product para maiwasan yung pagkasira or pagka-expired ng item or yung product. 8 is locate most frequently needed items on lower shelves and near in the entrance. So, dito, nilagay yung mga madalas gamitin sa mga lower na shelves para madali lang siya makuha. 9th is store heavy packages on the lower shelves. So, dito, para hindi siya mahirap hanapin, ilagay na lang sa nasa baba and para madali siya makuha. Lastly, don't store any products above shoulder height. So, dito, huwag mo siya nilagay sa taas kasi baka pag nahulog, masira yung item. Next is refrigerated storage practices. So, first, enclose any food or other product removed from its original container in a clean, sanitized, covered container and properly identified. So, dito, gumamit tayo ng malinis na container para di masira yung product or yung item na ibebenta. Second is, don't store foods in contact with water or undrained ice. So, dito, panatilihin na tuyo yung pagkain kasi if not, baka siya masira. Third, check refrigerator and freezer thermometers regularly. So, dito, para ma-make sure natin if pwede pa ba yung product or hindi na or fresh pa. Fourth is stall all foods to permit the free circulation of cool air on all surfaces. So, dito, hindi pwede na magsiksikan yung mga products. Fifth is never store food directly on the floor. So, 6, if you're a business that needs to store products under refrigeration, make certain that the temperature setting is appropriate for the product. So, dito, each product dapat nasa tama yung lamig ng freezer para ma-make sure natin if safe pa ba yung product or expired na. 7 is schedule cleaning of equipment and refrigerated storage at regular intervals. So, kagaya lang ng sinabi ko kanina na sa dry storage na schedule ng cleaning at regular times. So, 8, date all merchandise upon receipt and rotate inventory on a first in, first out basis. So, ito, katulad lang nung sa dry storage. So, lastly, establish preventive maintenance programs for equipments. So, dito, wag hintayin na masirap yung gamit. Make sure na dapat regular yung pag-check ng equipment para hindi madali masira. So, for my last topic, which is the front of the house. So, dito, ito na yung area na makikita ng mga customer when they enter the store. First, follow your system planogram. So, this means arrange product on shelf the way the store's plan shows. Second is Keep shelves and merchandisers stocked, clean, and dust-free. So always make sure that the products are available. Third is use proper product rotation by placing the oldest product in front of the newly received merchandise. So fourth is price identical items the same. Fifth is allow adequate space between displays as required by your local code. So dito, mag-leave ng space to people na makawalk safely and make sure na there's enough room for wheelchair or shopping cart. Six is use only signage that is acceptable in your system. So don't use random signage. Yeah. Lastly, keep your floor area free of empty boxes unless they are part of your design concept. Dito, iwasan na maging sagabal yung mga boxes that can cause incident. Unless part siya ng design sa store.
Getting good training before and after you open your franchise. Training is one of the most important foundations in franchising. It prepares franchisees to run the business with consistency and confidence. So in this part, we will discuss the training you get before opening your franchise, as well as training you receive after it opens. Getting good initial training. So what is initial training? Basically, it focuses on everything you need before your franchise opens. So this includes learning how to deliver the products or services the franchisor's way, as well as understanding the company's system and managing daily operations. So with this foundation, you and your staff can confidently serve customers from daily operations. Lastly is ensuring that you receive effective ongoing training. So after you open your franchise, the training doesn't stop there. Franchisors provide continuous support like introducing new machines, updated system, or marketing strategies to attract more customers. So this ongoing training ensures that your franchise stay competitive, adapts to changes, as well as continue to grow successfully. That's all. Thank you.